One of the biggest signals for rate cuts in Australia has just flashed. I made this video on YouTube and it's got almost 30,000 views in less than 5 days. I'm going to show you exactly what this is all about. Here is our inflation number. All groups, CPI and trimmed mean in Australia. And what we can see is up the top here, we got to the highs of 7 or 8%. And that's effectively saying that cost of goods has gone up by 7% year on year. And that's not what we like. We've always mentioned this on the channel, which is the cost of living crisis. Now, what we have seen is due to the pandemic, we were actually down here. We had a lot of money come into the system. It's like, putting toothpaste back into a tube, it doesn't happen. And so what happens after that is our currency gets devalued. Everything else becomes more expensive, which is why housing became more expensive. Now, since then, we've seen this number keep going down. So now we're in the target range, which is in this gray box here, which is between 2 and 3%. And that's what the RBA is looking at. So now that we have entered that, is it a question around interest rate cuts or is it about how many cuts? I think it's about how many cuts are coming on to the table rather than us just assuming there might be interest rate cuts. The reason I say this is because during this period here, as the inflation rate went up, interest rates actually went up quite a bit. They went up 13 times, but you can see there was no slowdown. That's the exact same thing that's going to play out here, which is after interest rate cuts, you would expect that there's going to be a bounce up in inflation, but everything lags in the economy. So what we could see is us actually fall below 2%. And that is why banks like NAB are coming out and suggesting we might actually have about 5 rate cuts in the next 9 months. That is going to be absolutely wild. Now, speaking of rate cuts, this comes directly from the RBA's website. It's the expectation of what the next rate cut would look like. And here what we see is the percentage decrease or the percentage of which they think the cash rate will decrease. Now, what it says is up here, it says decrease to 3.6%, but we're at 4.1%. An interest rate cut of 25 basis points would mean we're still higher than 3.6. What this is suggesting is that a 25 basis point cut is almost locked in. It's now a matter of figuring out, is it 25 basis points or is it 50 basis points? And right now, we have about a 50-50 chance that it could be a 50 basis point cut. 50-50-50. Now, this means that if interest rates do go down, it could push prices higher because there's more demand. If you guys want part 2 of this video around how interest rates could cause Australia's supercycle, definitely let me know in the comments down below saying supercycle and I'll make that video for you guys. If you have enjoyed this, definitely smash that follow button.